insurance consortium that would allow the town to participate with the county in their health plan, helping to reduce our costs. The county has a great health plan. It's self-funded, and in the first year of its existence, saved the county $2 million. So we're looking to do that. We're looking to consolidate our 911 center, our PSAPs, and we're also working with other municipal leaders to find opportunities to consolidate and reduce the cost of government.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Mr. Messina?
Thank you, Joe. Just getting back to the point on Independence Party, I think the audience ought to know that 4 years ago, as an Independence Party member, I had the strong support, unanimous support, of the Independence Party to run for town board. I respected that, valued it, appreciated it. I don't have that support now. I think that relates to the fact that I have been independent. I have spoken as an independent voice on this town board, and unfortunately, sometimes the leadership of parties does not reflect the philosophy that people within the party would like them to have. In this case, they've not been independent. To the point of tax base, I think there are areas to improve what we're doing from where we are. Vista Technology Center, great opportunity. There have been lots of discussions. We need to move forward more aggressively there. I would meet continuously with developers until we start to get the first actual development at that location. That's key for us. Opportunities with Cogen and SABIC and CSX have been discussed. Meetings have been held, but I see no progress. I would move that forward. A key is to develop a relationship with the school board and other taxing districts so that we can work with them to have an incentive for economic development using compacts that the town can advance. That needs to go forward. We have to assess what residents really want in terms of economic development. In this community, my assessment from surveys and other sources is that they want to retain the quality of life, but have the right type of economic development in the right locations. That takes management and focus and leadership. And last, frankly, we should be doing more economic development in the right places, and we would if we did things like a strategic plan and a comprehensive plan, which I've advocated for 2 years.
Thank you, Mr. Messina. Allegations of racism and a dispute between a local police officer and the police chief has escalated to a point where it has garnered the attention of several media outlets. If elected supervisor, will you recommend to the town council that the police chief not be reappointed at the 2010 organizational meeting? And has the town handled the situation to the best of its ability? And if not, what could it have done or do better? The question is to Mr. Messina.
This is a matter that is under current review. It is a personnel issue, and I'm not going to comment in depth on any personnel issues. I'm not in any position to say what action the town board would take with respect to our chief. But there are two things that I would like to say about this entire investigation. Number one, leadership and communications is what I started to speak about here tonight. And it was disappointing to me that 3 weeks after the letter was written to the town supervisor with all of these allegations, I had not received that yet, and other town board members have not received that yet. That to me is not appropriate because it was an important policy issue that we need to be engaged in and discussing, and we didn't have that opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Messina. Mr. Cunningham?
I just want to follow up on the last question from Mr. Messina. The town does have a comp plan. We've had it in place for 4 years now. Regarding the instances surrounding Officer Hughes and Chief Corsi, my opponent is correct. There are personnel issues that we can't discuss here in public. I would also want to clarify in the question that the chief is not appointed every 2 years. The chief is protected under civil service in his position, and his appointment remains until he leaves or is fired for cause. But he's not reappointed on an annual basis. The one thing I do want to say is that I've worked very closely with the police department since I've come into office. I do ride-alongs with our police officers. I meet with our police chief regularly. I can tell you that at no time have I ever seen any indication that racism exists anywhere in that police department. The police department has done a great job for this community. As one example, I can point out there was a lot of criticism in our police department during the Porco trial. But our chief led that charge. He stayed the course, and he received the conviction that I think many of the people in the community thought was correct. So I have a lot of confidence in the chief, and I don't see any reason to be pushing him out of office on charges that have been unsubstantiated at this time. Regarding the comment about contacting the town board was advised of the incidents when we had enough information to advise them. I worked with our town council, including our labor council, and we acted appropriately in that manner.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. The town's 2020 report states that the time for action is now and suggests town officials develop and implement a town-wide economic development strategy and long-term financial plan. Can each of you touch upon the plans that you would develop if elected supervisor? Questions to you, Mr.
Sure. We've already begun developing a capital plan here at Town Hall. We began that process last year, and we kind of had a blip in the process because our controller left, and we had to kind of regroup and start over again. But we are doing a comprehensive capital plan for the town. We are looking at doing long-term financial planning. Our next step, once our capital plan is in place, is to do long-term budgeting over a 3 to 5 year period we're hoping to do. We still need to go through the annual budget process, but it will give us a longer look at what we're going to need to be raising as far as revenue and spending as far as cost in order to maintain the assets of our town. We have been acting, and I have been acting based on some of the recommendations of the 2020 Advisory Committee. I've spent the summer meeting with representatives from Senator Gillibrand's office. I've met with Congressman Tonko. I've met with Senator Breslin. I've met with Assemblyman Gordon. And I've met with County Executive Mike Breslin. And I've put together a package of information to tell these elected leaders where the town is heading and where we're going to need help in the future regarding repairs in our infrastructure and other plans and ideas that we have that we think would help improve revenue streams or reduce costs to the residents of the town of Bethlehem.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Mr. Messina.
Thank you. Just a point of clarification on what Mr. Cunningham said. He mentioned that we have a comprehensive plan in town. We do have a comprehensive plan. We do not have a strategic plan that deals with economic development, capital planning, and other areas. And that's really what's called for. The second point on the police activities in our police department, I would tell you that 2 years ago, when Terry Egan was supervisor, we had a review done by the Center for Technology in Government with police experts involved that lined out exactly what management improvement opportunities there were, organizational improvements, morale issues, computer systems that were needed, etc. When Terry left, I met with Mr. Cunningham, Chief Corsi, and said, I've been part of that management review process. I'd like to work to move it forward because it could make our police department even stronger. I was told that that would be fine. Mr. Cunningham and the chief would move it forward. It has not. That could have anticipated and solved problems for them again. Regarding the 2020 strategy, 2 years ago I volunteered